The Bears.
Because of the way they play the nickel corner here, and the nickel corner plays 88-85% of the snaps. He's got to be like part linebacker.
The Bears.
When you're in a scouting room, there's going to be differences of opinion.
The Bears.
Well, you're looking at traits. And remember when he tested very, very well.
The Bears.
Greg, why are teams wrong on quarterback evaluation so often?
Number one, it's a hard position to evaluate.
Former Bears scouting director Greg Gabriel talks football live every week on the Barroom Network. Also available on demand.
Look, I think it's a good time to be a Chicago Bears fan. There's a lot to be excited about. But let me tell you something. We are past the point of excuses. If things go sour, you have used up all of the patience that Chicago has to offer.
The following program is rated TV MALV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Here we go, Barflies. Welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know it's done by Barflies, for Barflies, and all the other Bears fans out there. What's going on, fellas? Happy off-season. Hope you're enjoying your off-season, but it's time to get down to brass tacks. We're 2 weeks away from the NFL draft taking place in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Unfortunately, Bears fans will have to make the trip up if they want to watch it. I'm going to sit at home and watch it. But how you guys doing, man? I was telling you guys I was excited last week. The Beast came out. I've been trying to do research and trying to be. It's a little different this year, being the 10th pick. You know, when you got that top pick, you don't have to worry about who's going to fall to me, who's going to be available when it's my turn to pick. You know, you just kind of go into it with that. But first and foremost, Touche, how you doing today, man, brother? How's your off season going?
Going pretty good, but I kind of want the draft to be over so I could stop listening to people say how bad Ashton Genty is as a player. Like, you know, but I did talking with you backstage. I had asked Grok to cartoon version the three of us. So this is what the computer came up with. So it's like KB, AC, and myself.
Happy with a gold team.
Just a little before the show, I've been playing with AI generators. So, yeah, I'm doing good though, man. Ready to talk some NFL draft and hear what the Barflies say and what people think the Bears are going to do, and you know, talk about like what if everybody that they want is gone? What will they do?
Yeah, as you guys know, I've already done 1,057 mock drafts. So just about every Monday, I'll try to kick one of those out and see what I'm getting. And I'm trying to listen around to podcasts and stuff to hear about prospects, because I don't have time to grind the tape. So I try to take as much information as I can and make a educated guess, as well as, I watch college ball, so I see some of these prospects before they're coming out. But KB, my man, how you doing today? How's your off season going, and what's the weather like out there in South Bend, Indiana today?
Hey, man, I'm about to give y'all the Ollie Williams report. It's cold! Look at that. What you mean? I'm sick of this shit. Boy, it's supposed to be at least warm outside, man. We out here suffering, bro. I walked outside and said, ooh, nipples got hard. It's craziness. It's craziness.
It's wild.
Man, but other than that, man, you know your boy doing good, man. You know what I'm saying? Taking things a day at a time. Man, I'm kind of there with y'all, man. At the point I'm at, bro, I'm ready for this shit to be over with, because we all know the draft gonna come and there's gonna be a whole lot of what we didn't think was gonna happen that goes on. So every way that we feel like they might go, hell, they got a penchant for going in the opposite direction, man. I'm just ready to see who's coming in, what these new Bears are gonna do for the team, man. That's all I'm excited for now.
We talked about free agency already, didn't we?
That's true. I did want to bring up, because the biggest thing I was worried about was whether Billings was going to keep 97 or what was going to happen with that. But it did come out that, and KB sent it to me, that Grady Jarrett will be switching back to number 50, which he wore at Clemson. So 97 will still be on Billings' jersey, which is great to hear. I don't have to buy a new jersey. I'll buy a new jersey anyway, but I got to hold on to that one for a little bit. And it's just, man, I feel like I'm laggy. Are you guys think I'm lagging, or am I freaking out?
I thought it was me.
You're a little laggy.
You too, both.
A little laggy.
Just a tad bit.
Yeah.
Let me try and I tried this before, but let me try it again to hop out and hop back in, Tooch, if you want to. We did want to ask the group chat, the people in the chat, because we're going to do our mock draft today, and we're trying to decide how many rounds. KB said we should do 7. I feel like we should do 3. We could kind of get a poll of what the chat thinks. And go from there. But I'm gonna hop out and I'll hop right back in. And y'all tell me.
All right.
If anybody.
Yep. Well, KB, the first warning sign of perhaps a season that might go off the rails broke.
I seen this. I mean, thank God it was a bunch of likes and hearts. There wasn't no laughing emojis on the wall, which threw me off, because I was like, "Oh, he gonna get cooked for this." I mean, it's a nice picture. I give that to him, man. You know what I'm saying? He Esquire worthy. You feel me? He on the front page, but woo.
Yep.
I was like, these people that was on him about these fingernails going to be on him about this picture.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sassy. Oh, man, it's a picture, bro. Just leave the man alone.
Yep. For a second-year quarterback to make the cover of Esquire, the expectations, of course, they feel a little raised. And, of course, we've got this guy he's all business. He's all business, KB,
I love it. I love it. Because you never got that feeling from any other coach. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I mean, maybe a little bit of Matt Nagy in the beginning, like the pictures they showed when he was on the plane coming to Chicago, where he was looking at film and it's like, what am I watching, bro?
Yeah,
like,
he's all business. All business. I love it. I mean, look, and this will come up when we talk about the draft, because his modus operandi, his MO in Detroit was to outscore teams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the offense, yes, he's going to tailor his offense to the Bears personnel. But in 2022, he didn't have Gibbs, Montgomery, Laporta, or Jamison Williams. And the Lions were 5th in points per game, but 4th in yards per game. and 5th in touchdowns per game. First downs per game, they were 6th, and EPA per play, they were 6th. So, yes, weapons are great, but trenches go a long way. So the first thing that Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson did was go out and sign a whole new interior offensive line.
Right.
And I've maintained on the show and other shows on the network that Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson and their staff looked at the draft and said, you know what, offensive line really isn't that great in this draft this year. And a guy that we drafted left tackle in the first round probably isn't that much different than one we get in the second, third, fourth,
and
5th, 6th, whatever, and let's go out and get free agents.
Right. It's a lot of people that's not going to understand that and probably ain't going to like that being said.
We need more trenches.
Right. We have to stack the trenches, blah, blah. Like, I get it. But, on the same side, I was one of those people that said, go stack the trenches in free agency. I was, I was always on the fence of that. If you can get guys to fill that need, then it allows you to take whatever's available at 10, or if you want to trade back, move up, do what you got to do. But they did exactly that, man. And it was kind of, a breath of fresh air. I'm also a proponent of believing that fixing the inside helps the outside to me. You get guys like Joe Thuney in there. He's sitting next to Darnell Wright. He's going to be kicking things to him all the time. It's going to do nothing but make Darnell Wright a better tackle. Drew Dahlman, at this point, we feel like we probably don't have to worry as much about your center relaying information and being able to do his call outs. You might kind of have that question about the left guard with Jonah, but Jonah was a Pro Bowler. I don't want to hear his alternate because that shit gets on my nerves. We ain't had a Pro Bowl alternate on O-line, and
we do need depth.
Right.
We need some depth.
We need depth. And if Jonah Jackson can step in and be what he was in Detroit, then I believe you're solid across the O-line. Braxton Jones coming off an injury, that's going to be a major thing. How does Karan Amagaji look in the offseason? But like I said, I feel like you did. I feel like they looked at this draft and said, we got a couple big name guys that could fall to us. But how much better are they than the players that we already have? Things of that nature. And I was like, I really don't think people wanted to hear that. I think everybody wanted to know that, we were going to draft O-line and this guy was going to come in and he might kick in and play left guard and be our Quentin Nelson. And it's like, bro, I don't feel like there's a Quentin Nelson in this draft.
No.
I don't feel like there's a surefire Hall of Fame left tackle in this draft. I feel like you'll get some good players, but I don't feel like we have to draft the tackle at the 10th pick. I don't feel like we have to draft O-line at the 10th pick. I feel like
neither do I.
You could trade back, you trade back. If you want to trade up to try to go get, the Abdul Carters of the world or Lord, I love Ashley Genty. I just don't think we should trade up.
I would trade up for him.
You would?
I would. But here's the thing. Look, for several reasons, I know people are going to knock me for this, and I don't care about the competition he faced. He's still the numbers translate to the NFL: 2,600 yards rushing, 1,800 yards. Those came after contact, 5.5 yards after contact per carry. His explosive play per carry was translatable, and his forced missed tackle rate was almost 40%. So, these are all numbers that translate the 4.4 speed. You see the athletic ability. Now, if you want to ding him on a fumbling, he fumbled, 6 times last year. But I'll take 1, 2, 3 touchdowns a game for a fumble every 3 games, because the goal of Ben Johnson's offense is to hang 40 points on other teams. That's what they want to do, and then play solid defense with Dennis Allen.
I was gonna say, man, who else had fumbling issues? I'm not saying that he's gonna be him when he gets to the league, but
we can coach that up. We can coach that up,
Adrian Peterson had fumble issues.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For a player that's going to touch the ball 15 to 20 times, I think running back is probably our most important need. at this point. And we need the engine for Ben Johnson's car. We got the driver, Caleb Williams. We need an engine. DeAndre Swift, he had a decent year. Didn't make 1,000 yards. Doesn't like running up the middle. He's not that kind of player. Roshan Johnson is a good player. Had some good stats and stuff, but he's got an injury problem. The running back position is lacking on the Bears, no matter how you slice it up. So I mean, if you want to trade, I don't think Ashton Genty will be there at 10. If he is, I run to the podium and I hand in my card, because we're putting points up on the board with this guy. They say, well, the running back draft is deep. Yeah, it is. And I would love to, if they miss out on him, I would love to get Travion Henderson. That dude can absolutely fly. And O'Marion, Hampton, Caleb Johnson, Quinshon Judkins, those guys are all good, but they're not next level stars. Like, I think Ashton Genty is going to be a player that teams have to game plan for, a player that say like, oh, this is, we got to watch out for Bijan Robinson or Saquon Barkley, or Derrick Henry. His other teams are going to be like, we got to stop Ashton Genty. You know what that's going to do? It's going to open up play action for Caleb Williams, and that's what Ben Johnson loves. They ran play action 37% of the passing drops. So to me, running back is super important. I know we need edge, and people are saying we need edge rushers. You know what? Well, you've already got Montez Sweat and Deo Odengbo in there, and then you've got Austin Booker. They re-signed Daniel Hardy. I think that was the guy. That was or Daryl Taylor. Is that guy? Daryl Taylor. Right?
I thought he got somebody else. I think it's Hardy.
Hardy. So we've got some pass. Dominique Robinson is still there, and if he doesn't make the team, I wouldn't be surprised. But the guy that they sign or draft, the guy that they draft is going to be arguably the third or fourth edge player or defensive end in the system. Do I think we need more pass rush juice? Yes, maybe with Odengbo there, we'll get some more pass rush. We'll get some more quarterback pressures for sure. And it'll make Montez Sweat better. So I don't know how the Bears are looking at edge, defensive end. Do they need to add one? Yeah, there's good edge rushers throughout this draft. To me, defensive tackle is a bigger need. I think we need a nose tackle. I love Kenneth Grant from Michigan. I think that guy is going to be a star. People love Mason Grant, but to me, he seems a little maxed out, and I think Kenneth Grant has a higher ceiling. And we really need the nose tackle, the big guy in the middle, to stop the run, because without your cousin, man, the Bears defense dropped from upper half to almost bottom in the NFL against the run. So, I mean, we need someone to help stop the run, plug the middle. So to me, defensive tackle is a higher need than edge rusher. Now, the left tackle problem, that's the dilemma. Braxton Jones injury, and then people are like, well, Kieran Amagaji. I went back and watched some of that Commanders game, and he didn't play all that bad. I saw some real promise there with a full off season and everything. I think the kid, he might be pretty good, and he's got some real traits. His arms are long. He moves his feet well. He's able to mirror.
A lot of people forgot that Karan Amagaji came in hurt. Like,
he was injured.
He missed a lot of all of the all-season program, and literally pretty much got thrown to the wolves when he started that game.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say started the game, but when he was thrown into that game. So, I mean, like I said, they drafted that kid in the third round for a reason, man. I think a lot of people aren't really looking at that and just say, hey, man, well, this guy's coming out, so you can go get him and throw him in. I mean, sometimes you got the talent on the roster already. You know what I'm saying? I know one guy I'm high on that I don't see a lot of people talk about, and that's Ricky Schomburg from Arkansas that's playing at center. Kid was on our practice squad all last year, but when he was coming out, I mean, he was talked about as one of the top 5 centers in that draft. So I know I absolutely would have loved for us to draft him. Say he was drafted by the Commanders, unfortunately, but things work out sometimes, and we end up getting them.
One of those 3 day 2 picks, I could see him taking left tackle, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we need depth across the line. We still do.
Yep.
But if you found a way to get a decent left tackle in the 3rd round, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't believe we have a 4th. We have the 5th, right? The 5th, and we have weird pick numbers this year.
Yeah, I think. Look, we've got 3 techs. Of course, Gervon could probably play both the 1 and the 3.
Yeah.
on the offensive line. But this draft is great for 3 techs. I think we got to add one to bring in behind Grady. There's some really good guys all through from day 1 all the way down, all the way to the day 3. There's defensive tackles, 3 techs. There's a few. There's less nose tackles that are quality nose tackles. And the Bears did re-sign Jonathan Ford, the big nose tackle.
I've seen that.
We got off the Packers squad, practice squad. So that's possibly a guy that they might be high on. They did get some top. Let me see if I've got the top 20 visits. Yeah, Bears top 30. Sorry, top 30 visits.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a snapshot of this.
Okay.
And bring it in.
Quick to the chat, man. AC is
you got some questions from the chat already?
Oh, I just wanted to address that real quick because they're like, oh no, what happened to AC? AC is restarting his stuff. Jump back on. I definitely had a question for him whenever he pops back on because we're talking about one text. They got a guy out there in Kentucky that I seen at one point was getting a lot of hype and a lot of love, but it seems like he's slowly starting to drop off the radar a little bit with Dion. If he slid the third round, I wouldn't mind grabbing Dion. That's a big kid, like 7 or some shit. There he is. You speak.
Can you talk about Big Dion from Kentucky?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Can you talk about Dion out of Kentucky, my good sir?
Yeah, I like Dion Walker. A lot of the question marks that he had, to me, were off the field. They said he wasn't really motivated to go to class or be a leader on the team, which, I mean, that's a red flag, I guess. But he worked his ass off when he was on the field. I hardly ever saw him just straight up give up on plays. There was times where they would be down at the goal line and it's literally he's the only thing keeping the other offense out of the end zone. And if he's on a rotation and he have a guy like Andrew Billings to be his mentor, kind of teach him how to be a pro, what's expected of him in and out of the weight room, I think it would be helpful. Like you said, KB, if he falls to the 3rd round, that's a steal. I wouldn't take him in the 1st round at this point because of the question marks about his work ethic, whether it's classroom related or not. That's your job when you're in college, especially now. Speaking of college, Tennessee, the news that happened yesterday, that was insane. A $4 million sophomore quarterback. It's they're gonna have to. They got to get a handle on that, man. It's insane. Like,
yeah,
and we're seeing it all over. You're seeing quarterbacks who play for 5 different teams. I did want to touch on the running back thing because I heard you guys talking about it in Tucci. You made a lot of strong points for Ashton Jeanty. My biggest question mark about Ashton is not even about Ashton. It's about the rest of the class. Why spend a top 10 draft pick on a position that is so deep that you feel like you can get a guy in the 4th round maybe or maybe even the 5th that isn't – there's not so much of a gap between and Ashton's great. I mean, he's the runner-up for the Heisman. He did all he struggled against Penn State. But other than that, he had a hell of a game, It's
to me, he's here, and the rest of those guys are down here. In my evaluation,
though, I don't see it that way, though. I really don't. I think that I know Scatterboo's slow.
Your guy Caleb above those guys. Yeah, I love all those guys
in Iowa. Yep.
They're good players. Ashton Jeanty is a great player. That's about the best layman term I could do it. I can give it.
Yeah.
Well, I've been in love with.
He does everything that you want in Ben Johnson's offense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we thought we had stuff locked up last year, and we were excited about Roma Dunze, and we didn't. And I know we made moves in the offseason to bring in a Joe Tooney, bring in a Jonah Jackson, bring in Drew Dahlman, who we all wanted. I've been in love with Will Campbell since the first time I heard that man open his mouth. I know there's a question mark about his his arm length. I get that. But he played in the SEC at LSU, did his job for 3 years, protected for Jaden Daniels, who that turned out pretty well. There's a saying in the scouting world that elite feet always eat, and he's got some sweet ass footwork.
I would draft him with 10.
Yeah. If he's there, I take him. I'm not. A lot of people are talking about Mimbu out of Missouri. I question.
Not for me.
Right. I question him moving from the right side to the left side. And I don't know if that's the guy for me.
It's a question
if
mark.
it's not left tackle, I need a defensive end, man. If it's not a left tackle, I need a defensive end. I like Michael Williams. He's going to rerun.
You need a third string defensive end over a starting running back. Is that what you're saying?
What makes you think he's third string?
Because you just signed Deo Odenigbo and Montez Sweat to giant contracts.
Okay.
And then you have Austin Booker. He's not beating out either of those guys.
How Anybody do you know that, dude?
Because the money. Follow the money. You're not sitting Montez Sweat.
Fuck the money. Who gives a shit? Well, we brought in Mike Glennon and paid him an absorbent amount of money, and then Trubisky beat him out in camp.
Yeah, he did start,
right? But he started, but he sucked. Deo and Montez aren't going to suck like Mike Glennon.
That's true.
It's apples and oranges.
You hope.
Shit.
The pressure rate of Odenigbo tells me that the amount of pressure rate per pass play tells me that Odenigbo's will have success. He may not get to the quarterback, and this is the whole Shamar Stewart debate, that Shamar Stewart's this fantastic athlete. Look at all these pressures.
I'm out on him.
So I'm kind of out, but I'm kind of in, because that kind of skill set. He pressured the fuck out of quarterbacks, man. He didn't get the sacks. He doesn't have the sacks number. He had 4.5 sacks over his entire career at Texas A&M.
Right.
But the raw athletic ability, the size, the speed, the strength, the arm length, all of that translates to the NFL. His best football might be in front of him. However, it's a gamble. It's a question mark right now. Is what's he going to do? Does Dennis Allen think he can coach him up? As our defensive line coach, I don't even know who our defensive line coach is. To be honest, I haven't. I should be looking at Bears coaches. I know who a few of the position coaches are.
The O-line coaches from New Orleans.
Coaches Rochar. Yep, Rochar.
The
JT Barrett's the quarterback coach, running back.
Oh, we know the wide receiver coach.
Eric Bieniemy, wide receiver coach, is Antoine Randall, Chicago guy. But Will Campbell, I would take, because you're covering your ass at left tackle if Braxton Jones doesn't come back from injury.
And if he doesn't work at left tackle, you flip him into left guard, and he learns from one of the best in history.
You have an excellent guard. But the reason why I like Will Campbell is the makeup intellectually, the great poise in front of reporters' question thing. So that poise to the translates to the field, in my opinion. He's been a starter at left tackle since he walked on to LSU at 18 years old. To me, that counts for something. He's got a good football IQ. He's got a positive mental makeup, and he's got a good attitude. And I think that would all translate well. His arm length is not what NFL teams desire, but you kick him inside to guard. I bet you he's the next Joe Thuney. So when Thuney wants to retire, you have him.
I don't have a big board, obviously, but if I did, the number one on my list would be Abdul Carter, and right behind him is Mason.
I would trade up for Abdul
Carter. One of those guys are within striking distance.
Yeah.
If either one of those fall within striking distance, I go get them. Then Will Campbell's there for me. I like Travis Hunter, but I worry about whether he's a corner or a receiver. I'll let someone else figure that out. And Genty's great. I mean, he is a blue chip player, but
we don't have a lot of blue chips.
Right. I just think the draft class being as deep as it is at that position.
Right. I agree. It's deep at running back.
It makes me struggle to grab him in the top 10. But I want to see what Michael Williams runs from Georgia. He's rerunning on the 18th. So if we were doing this mock draft next weekend, I'd be able to see that, to see how that goes. But the Georgia defense, I like the other guy there too, but I worry about his size. I think he's 6'1", 250 or something. They're saying he's a tweener. He could be an off-ball linebacker or a pass rusher. But I don't know. You want to get this mock draft started? Have we figured out what rounds we're doing, or
did you ask the chat? I don't know. What do they say? I didn't look.
I ain't seen nothing there talking about how many.
I haven't
rounds
seen anyone talk about it.
Hey man, like I said, bro, I say just load the 7 up, man. We see how this thing go, bro.
You like Mason Graham or Kenneth Grant better, right, KB? I mean,
all right, man. It's kind of
the first round pick for me.
If it's first round pick, the type of leader that Mason Graham is, I will probably go Graham. I felt like he was a difference maker in the middle for us. But Kenneth Grant ain't nothing to shake a stick at, bro. That man is he's very fucking talented. He's huge,
and he ran a 4.840.
Yeah, that's a big man moving. You feel me?
His swim move and his pass rush ability from the nose tackle to me is awfully intriguing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, the funny thing is, man, if we look at it, Mason Graham reminds me of the guy we just kind of got. He reminds me of Grady Jarrett.
Yeah.
So
we have 2 of them, but
and
there's 3 techs all throughout this draft. Decent ones. There's some like Kenneth Grant type players. I look at the big Ohio State kid and Tyleek Williams, and then Alfred Collins.
Because I know he hurt himself at his pro day.
Alfred Collins on Texas, I like as well too. The wingspan, the size, very intriguing. And then at 3 technique, man, there's just so many good ones, man. There's a lot of pass rush from the 3 tech throughout this draft. You want to throw up the beast up there, Aaron?
I can pull it up. You want me to pull it up on Mason Graham?
I didn't look up his beast, but I honestly I didn't really know what it was, and I know you guys were excited about it.
You didn't know what the beast was?
No,
I don't know what the beast is, man. Y'all throwing names out, and I'm like, Mr. Beast, like
that's what I thought.
Chocolate bars.
Mr. Beast is doing something.
No, it's not. It's not Mr. Beast. It's the Beast. Dane Brugler puts it out every year. There's 2,700 prospects broken down in this, which is why it's called the Beast. It breaks them down. It goes over their background. It goes over. It's through the athletic. And in my humble opinion, it is worth the price of admission for the athletic just to get the beast every year. But I'm a draft nerd. I love it.
Do they sell that beast like separately? Can you just buy the beast?
I don't think so.
Download the draft guide or something.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't think so. I think it's just through.
Can your homeboy upload it to the web for us? That's good.
Well, it's password protected. I'm not technologically sound, so I'm not sure if there's a way around it. I'm opening it right now. I just put the password in. So I'm looking up Mason Graham. That's who you guys want first?
Or no, I just was wondering. I thought maybe there was like a top 50 list or something, or top 32.
Well, I don't know if you guys can see this. So it breaks it down.
Okay, yeah.
Like a glossary. You got broken down by position.
Yeah, I see.
And then your glossary, of course, it starts with quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Through
that boy AC got that 4K camera. Boy, you saw that shit clear? What? I know this shit. Hold on, can I do that?
Who does he have? Does he give like a little ranking of quarterbacks? Because with Derek Carr's shoulder injury recently, I'm wondering what the Saints do at 9, or even if they trade up, with one of the other teams to get Shador. Could you see
quarterbacks? He's got Cam Ward as a first round pick. He's got Shador as a first or second round pick, and he's got Dart as a second round pick. This is what they're graded at. That's obviously quarterback gets overvalued, as we know. Tyler Shuck is his fourth quarterback out of Louisville, the second-round pick. But Jalen Milroe did get invited and accepted an invite to the NFL draft.
That's so interesting, too.
I don't know if they're going to want someone sitting around like they did Will Levis that year that absolutely destroyed that guy before he ever stepped onto the field.
Hey, man, they had to find somebody to keep in the green room. That's what it was.
I mean, Derek Carr's kind of a question mark for them. I'd have to look at the Saints like depth chart to know. I don't even know who their backup is. Is it Desmond Ritter?
Spencer Rattler.
Spencer Rattler, that's his name. Rattler.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler. So they'd have to go with Rattler to start the season.
That's
that
who
didn't
they
work
played
out.
with last year for most
they played
of the
with
year.
them last year, yeah.
Hey, man.
Exactly.
I
think
I got a sneaky
if I was
suspicion.
a team that needed a quarterback, I would look at Kyle McCord for Syracuse, Will Howard from Ohio State, or Dylan Gabriel from Oregon, like in a later round. I wouldn't.
I was gonna say Dylan Gabriel get no love.
I agree.
It's wild to me. Absolutely wild.
Yep. The Louisville kid to me is intriguing. AC. I know he's older and stuff, but the kid could throw.
Yeah. He's got an arm.
He has got an arm.
But the question, the biggest question with Shuck though is he's been around. He's an older prospect.
Yep,
and this last year is the only year that he finished. He played the whole year.
Oh, wow. But with quarterbacks, I don't really care that much, because they're older, they're more mature, and you're taking the leadership role on the team, So for me, that's fine.
And quarterbacks play till they're 45 now, so
right. Tom Brady was playing at 42. So to me, I don't mind taking an older prospect at quarterback. I guess we could run into our mock draft. It's 10, right? Do I share my screen, right?
Yeah. Like I said, man, just load them all up, man. We'll see where we're at certain intervals.
Yeah.
If we get to third or fourth round, this thing ain't been going longer than 2 hours, then get the fuck up off here.
You got it. All right. So am I doing 7?
Yeah.
I reckon.
All right, let me get my.
I'm telling you, AC. If we get to round 3, and we've been on here for 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let's see. Let me go and share my screen. If I could find my cursor.
I did want to. I talked to Tooch about it before we got on live. Like, the reason why I was worried about going 7 rounds is I'd like to talk about prospects that go before us at 10, like Ashton. I mean, I guess we already did kind of. We haven't seen it play out, but we already talked about Genty and Graham and obviously Carter. I think Carter is the best prospect in this draft, and I think the Browns are dumb if they pass on him. I think they should pair him with. Imagine having Abdul Carter and Myles Garrett coming off your edges. Like,
but you just couldn't score. That's your problem.
Yeah.
Well, they just re-signed Joe Flacco.
They got Joe Flacco. Whew. All right. So let me. All right. Hold on a second here. All right. I guess we can roll it here.
Hey man,
I can see it.
Man, stick a quarter in it, bro.
You can see it. All right, here we go. Let's see. Folks are already gone, so let me just hide this for a second. We got some trade offers, 3 of them. So Will Campbell is there. The other players, I'm intrigued by. I love Derek Harmon. That guy's to me is the next Chris Jones. Shamar Stewart's intriguing, and the Bears did bring him in for a top 30 visit. Actually, you know what? I didn't. Let me. I forgot to share the top 30 visits.
I'm gonna say this real quick because like I said, I got a sneaky suspicion, bro.
Yeah.
Shador ain't gonna make it past the Saints.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just being honest. I like 1,000% could see him playing in New Orleans, and I could see that being a thing.
Yeah, I don't think they would take McMillan there.
Yeah, I absolutely believe Shador is on the table right now, or is on the table for ninth. I absolutely believe he's going to end up going to the Saints.
Ted McMillan going on that podcast and saying that he never watches tape that's red flag city for me.
What?
For me too. But I think people would be surprised that, and he was talking about not watching tape outside of his wide receivers room, and I heard that like people would be surprised at how many wide receivers outside of their wide receiver room don't watch film.
My middle school aged son had Huddle on his phone and watched tape.
If you want to be great,
wasn't starting, couldn't sniff the field, watched tape on his next opponent.
Yep,
it is not difficult.
So for me, I draft
laziness is what it comes down to.
I draft Will Campbell here. That's just my.
Say no more. That's what I'm doing.
Hold on.
The Browns want their whole draft. They probably would take Campbell or Shador.
They come back for Shador.
They're coming back up for Shador. Yeah. So Houston is coming up probably for Will Campbell because their offensive line sucks. And then the Giants are coming up for Shador. Yeah. So we could trade back with, but I mean, we're not getting much. We do get a Giants first round pick next year and their second round team. Second round. And then
that's too far down to drop. We need all the line help.
I agree.
All
right.
Yeah, I'm taking Shador or Will over
I'm
any
taking
of that.
Will too. All right.
Like I said, I ain't gonna lie. I'd have played contrarian right there. I probably wouldn't take Campbell.
So here, those top three players there, man. I would take any one of those three.
Oh, Kenneth Grant. That's easy.
Marion is sitting there though.
Yeah. And I see. Look.
So to me, that's
it's the running back guy here.
I like Hampton, but I see Trevor right there.
Kenneth Grant, to me, that's the unicorn. To me, I have a first-round grade on Grant, but I mean, Donovan Jackson is really intriguing, but we just took Will Campbell. But if we didn't get Campbell, I would love Donovan Jackson. When Josh Simmons went down, hey, man, he went out and played left tackle.
Right.
And he played at a
high level.
Level national championship.
And played Abdul Carter.
Yeah, I think Donovan Jackson could be an all-pro at guard.
We do have to. Xavier Watts is there as well. We have 4 safeties in the last.
All of them are out of contract. Yep.
Yep,
I agree.
That could be so. I'm going to take Kenneth Grant and my.
I would take Grant too, because the running back is deep. The running back class, like you said. To me, I love Travion, bro. But to me, the injuries, and I'm surprised that the Raiders didn't take Travion Hampton with Kelly as the offensive coordinator there. I mean,
Marion.
No, Travion Henderson.
Yeah,
Ohio State running back.
I like the other Ohio State running back better. I like
Judkins.
Yeah, I like Judkins too. Travion has got elite speed.
Yeah, it's weird because he kind of falls in the same with the role that you would want Swift to
do.
Yeah, but to me, he's Swift's replacement. He's better than Swift. So I'm not caring too much about that because you still have Roshan, But to me, the pick is Grant, and then we see.
It's definitely Grant.
Definitely Grant.
We should be arguing for the next pick.
So someone took O'Marion right after us.
The
Saints took him. And then we got the Ravens offering us some picks.
Okay.
I dropped out of full screen so I could see the chat to see what everybody else was saying. And it seems like everyone was on board with us doing Grant there.
Yep.
All right, this is interesting. This is interesting to me. If the Seahawks actually offered us this, I would absolutely take this pick because I see a few names right now on this list that I would absolutely be okay with taking.
Yep.
And I feel like we would have still the pick of the litter at 50.
Yeah, I think so. I think I like that.
Yeah.
I like this trade back too. So we'll probably miss out on Mason Taylor, who I think is a really good player at tight end, because we missed out on Loveland and Warren. And I still think We need another tight end somewhere.
Harold Fanning is still on the board. I believe he hasn't been taken yet.
My guy, KB, my guy.
You like Harold Fanning?
Hell yeah,
absolutely. Out of Bowling Green State.
Yep. So here you guys like the trade. So my fear is we miss out on Travion. I love Travion.
Quinshon's still on the board.
Quinshon's still on the board.
Said, right now, I see a whole bunch of names I still like.
Caleb Johnson is still on the board.
Landon Jackson's not bad at your edge rusher.
Caleb Johnson is still on the board. I love Caleb. So Caleb's a perfect zone running back for me. He is forced a lot of missed tackles too. Iowa did not throw. They couldn't throw the ball. Their quarterback sucked.
He was their whole offense.
He was everything, and he still would rush for 150 yards a game. His forced missed tackle rate was up there. I think it was top 5 in the NCAA. And then his yards after contact was also high. And he ran a 4.57 at the combine. But you look at the tape, man. That's not 4.57 speed.
I was gonna say, bro, we don't need him to run no 4.4. We need a big back that can get yards.
He plays a lot faster, and he is big. All right, so we're taking this trade.
We need a big back, KB.
Let's see what happens. So we did miss out on Mason Taylor. He went to the Colts.
Oh, what do you know? Xavier Watt's still on the board. Goddamn, Travion Henderson.
Travion is still there. Caleb Johnson's still there.
Tooch, are you pulling the trigger here on Travion, or
to me, I like either Travion or Caleb, one of those two guys.
So, how much do we like Xavier Watson safety?
I know, but after that, we ain't getting anything at 72 a running back. We need that running back for the offense.
So what?
Because after that, we'll miss out on Travion, Caleb, and Quinshon.
Let me hop out of a full screen again, because I got to go full screen because I got old eyes. I guess I need some readers. I can't read this. Let me see what the chat's saying. Do y'all think we should go? We got Cornelius is saying Quinshon Judkins. Squeegee saying Caleb. Focheezy says CS, we need a thumping RB. I don't know what CS means.
After Quinshon, I don't like.
He's talking to Cornelius Collins. Cornelius.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
After Quinshon, I don't. After that, these guys are all. I mean, the only guy I like is Damian Martinez. After that,
Focheezy's saying Judd or Caleb.
It's a guy that's not even on that's in this list right now. That I can tell you, I would love for us to grab later on in the draft. If you want somebody that's along the lines of a Gibbs, then this kid later on in the draft is absolutely the perfect pick for him. But
who is that?
Jadon Blue,
running back.
Oh, he's little.
Jadon Blue.
He did visit the Bears.
Ran a 4.2 at their pro day, didn't he?
Yep.
I mean, for Texas, he was catching the ball out the backfield, but he was lining up a wide receiver.
He's a stud. To me, God, I'm
taking Judkins.
Any one of those three, I'm fine with.
You taking Judkins right here, KB, or you think?
To me, Travion is home run. This
home run
hit. It's just his injury history scares me a little bit.
I was gonna say. So this is my thing. You have DeAndre Swift right now. DeAndre Swift is still on this roster. That means you have Travion Henderson apparently.
But we also have Roshan Johnson on the.
I don't.
Guardian cap.
Let me
power back.
Let me make a little case for Roshan, just for 1 minute case, 30 seconds. Led all running backs in the NFL in 2024 with 31% of his rushes converting to first downs. That was better than stars like Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, and Saquon Barkley. I'm just throwing that out there.
You put them up again at 3rd and 1. You expect the motherfucker to get a yard.
I know. Yeah. He was money on the goal line too.
But problem is
we've already got we kept Doug Kramer, didn't we? So we got our goal line back.
Right. I feel like this. I feel like if you stacking players up, of course. Quinshon, because this is my case for Quinshon. This is why I will take Quinshon right here. Quinshon Judkins can double as your power back. Quinshon Judkins has speed to hit a home run.
Yep.
like you got to remember, this kid was it wasn't Ole Miss. I was gonna say Ole Miss. It was
It was Ole Miss.
It was Ole Miss. Yep.
Stud at Ole Miss came over. You shared the spotlight with Trevion Henderson and kind of took the spotlight from him at some points. Like, you want a bigger back. Quinshon Judkins is that bigger back, and he can still do everything that you need him to do. And like I said, I'm not opposed to taking 2 running backs in this draft, so I'll take Judkins right now.
What do you think, AC?
I like Judkins, but I think it's a reach, man. I'm kind of digging Xavier Watts, man. I don't know. We got, like I said, with our safety position, you got Kevin Byard, who's aging out. You got Jaquan Brisker, who I love. I bought his jersey, but the way he plays, and he's already got concussions, that's you start to worry about those adding up. And then behind them, you got Mr. Simone Biles for another year, and the dude we drafted out of West Virginia. What's his name? I can't remember. He played a lot, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now. That's bad.
Safety?
Yeah.
West Virginia?
Hicks. Elijah Hicks.
Elijah Hicks, because
he was West Virginia. I didn't know. I thought he was like California or something, Cal.
Oh, you might be right. I'm getting the colors mixed up in my head. That navy blue and yellow.
You know what? I like Damian Martinez later. I think he's kind of like a Judkins.
Okay.
Cam Scattaboo is intriguing to me because of the forced missed tackle rate. He was second to Ashton Genty. Forced a lot of tackles. Scattaboo, he's tough as fuck, man.
Yeah, but
he's like a tough son of a bitch, man.
He's not fast, so we didn't expect him to be fast. But do you guys think there's any chance Scattaboo can convert to a fullback in the league? Like,
I don't know. I don't know if he's big enough. You know, but
I just feel like he runs like a fullback, man. I don't know.
I mean, he's a good pass. He might be one of the best pass receiving backs in this draft.
Who?
Scattaboo. Good pass receiver.
Can you go back to all? I want to see if there's an edge rusher that fell here or.
Yeah, Tuamalo is there. Princely Uman Milan is there. To me, I'll tell you which guy I like. This guy right here, Braden Swinson. Do you know this guy?
Mm-mm.
He's a little bit bigger edge. He's on LSU. This dude is powerful as fuck. He'll knock guys back. He's got elite speed. He doesn't have as much bend as you'd like for his measurements. But 8.5 sacks at LSU in the SEC last year. That kid's intriguing to me.
Well, maybe he'll be there at 72. So
exactly, he might be there at 72. I doubt it, but that would be. So what do we think? You guys want?
I personally like Judkins over Henderson, but I don't want to be the.
I like Henderson over Judkins.
I'm leaning right now. I'm leaning more at Judkins if we had to pick, because like I said,
Caleb Johnson I love too, man. It's hard. To me, Judkins and Johnson are like, they're similar players.
Yeah, they are very similar.
Very similar size, similar speed. Judkins might be a little bit better receiver, but Iowa didn't throw the ball much, so it's hard to say. He had like a 75-yard touchdown reception versus Nebraska, so he can take the swing pass to the house, or take the screen pass to the house. All right, but what does the chat say?
When I was on there, a lot of them, they were saying Caleb or Judkins. They were good with either one.
Judkins.
Now we got.
You guys want Judkins?
I'm on board for Judkins.
All right, pulling the trigger on the Judd. We lost out on Braden Swinson by 2 picks,
and Prince is sitting right there.
Yeah,
Harold is right there.
Harold Fanine is there. So Kevin Winston Jr. If he didn't get injured, he might be a higher pick.
I'm going with Princely. I know it didn't turn out the way he wanted to, but when you saw him, because he came from Florida, went to Ole Miss, or maybe it was vice versa, and when they played each other, he showed up to the stadium in a ski mask. I mean, this dude was ready to And that sold me on that. That's a dog. You talk about we needed dogs on this team.
Yeah.
That's a dog right there.
He's light though, man. He's 244 pounds. You know, he doesn't fit Dennis Allen's system, but he does, man. The motors. You know, can he put on more weight and still maintain that speed? He did run really well.
Did we not get any trade offers here?
No, none.
We got a Penn State safety there.
Yeah, that's the guy I'm looking at here.
I was gonna say, oh boy, the Texas ain't been drafted yet, has he?
Who's that?
The kid from Texas.
The safety.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, he's gone. Yep.
Mabuka or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, after Kevin Winston, the safety pickings are slims. Jonas Sanker's interesting. R.J. Mickens is interesting.
Is Malachi Moore not any good? I mean, he played at Alabama.
Yeah, he's all right. Had 7 interceptions, but something about, I mean, he seems like he's a little stiff for me, but he's a playmaker. I just think these other guys are better, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I
Candy
agree.
Shevin
I'm just
loves
thinking
Billy
of guys
Bowman.
that we can maybe grab later.
Yeah. I like Mickens over Moore down there, but the Penn State safeties are intriguing. Harold Fanine is there. After Fannin, you know, he got a little chance to get Elijah Arroyo.
Hey,
really
Gunnar
fun.
Helm out of Texas. That's
Gunnar
the dude
Helm.
that they brought in and talked to him.
Yep.
When I was watching the combine and they do that gauntlet drill, Gunnar
Yep.
Helm had a hell of a gauntlet drill where they're just running through and catching balls. He twisted his ankle on something and they showed a picture of it. It was like a grapefruit. I can't remember if that was the 40 or if that was but that could be a dude we could wait for if y'all are cool with it. I like Fanine a lot. Receiving, obviously he's not a blocker really.
No.
But
he might be there at 82. Harold.
Yeah. I'll say right now.
I like the safety, but that's just me. I mean,
it depends on where y'all see the biggest need being. If safety is the biggest need, then yeah, go safety. But if not, like I said, to me, the pick is Princely.
Yeah, he's right there.
He can put on weight because, like you said, oh shit, Jack Sawyer's still on the board. Why are they doing this? Who made this?
Jordan Birch is still there, and he's got the size that they like. Josiah Stewart's a smaller guy, but that dude is freaking good, man.
Yeah.
The Michigan, he's smaller, but man, he is strong as hell, man. Pound for pound, he might have been the strongest guy on Michigan. Just he was the dude, man. For a little guy, man, he's just like Iron Man.
what's Jack Sawyer's size? Because I don't understand why he's
like
down there.
5'2".
Well, he's got short arms, and he's kind of a ceiling might be a little bit capped, you know. I'd rather have Tyler Barron above Sawyer. He's got some size. He's got some pass. He's got all the moves, pass rushing.
This is my thing. This is why I'm like a Jack Sawyer fan. To me, he reminds me of Aiden Hutchinson. Hutch was 2 fucking inches taller and probably weighs a little bit more, and you know what I'm saying, hell of an athlete. Sawyer's not as much as the athlete, but you can see the heart and you can see the leadership coming from Sawyer. Yep. And I feel like Sawyer would fucking excel at the next level. The one thing that was scared the shit out of me
from a Michigan fan.
Yeah, the thing that was scared the shit out of me is if Detroit ended up drafting Jack Sawyer and you had him and Aiden Hutchinson on the fucking edge, because at some point he's gonna take the starting job somewhere.
If you like Sam Hubbard, former Ohio State defensive end who played for the Bengals, that you like Jack Sawyer.
I loved him too.
Yeah,
I loved Hubbard too.
Yep.
But
Princely to me is like, we have Austin Booker. You know, is Princely better than Austin Booker? Yeah, probably. But we still have Booker. You know, and they wanted him to get a little heavier, and you know he's already heavier than Princely. So I mean, what are they going to say with Princely?
That's true.
I don't think the Bears are taking him. I like Jordan Birch. He's sitting there. He's a bigger guy. To me, he doesn't.
Let's grab our safety here then, and then we can see who falls to us next time.
All right, I'm with you. Princely's still sitting there at 82. we got a little trade offer here from the Rams.
Nah.
Move back 8 spots and pick up a 4th rounder next year. Kyle Williams is intriguing, man. That dude, he had a shit ton of touchdowns last year, man. 5'10", 190. We just signed a bunch of guys like the same size as him.
Like
this dude, Kyle Williams, can absolutely fly.
That Stanford receiver, I can't pronounce his name, but he was their entire offense.
Yeah. Alec Iomenor.
Yeah, that's what
Stanford.
Yeah. That's one dude to look at.
I see somebody saying LSU DN, but
Gunnar Helm's still sitting there.
I was gonna say you got Gunnar Helm still sitting there. I see Fannin came off.
Fannin came off. You still got Elijah Arroyo, who was a visit, I think, to the Bears.
That's a big athletic kid.
I love Arroyo. Gunnar Helm is a hell of a player, though. You know, Arroyo's a good blocker. That's why I kind of like him a little bit better. He's faster than Helm, but Helm is a great at finding the soft spot in the zone.
What about Tooch to go to Iowa? Luke Lachey is. I know he's not, but
he's solid. Get him in
George
the 7th
Kittle
round.
fell to the 5th round. If you can grab him late,
Lachey will be nice in the 7th round. But they did have Jalen Conyers in at Texas Tech. He is a dude that's got some size. He's decent at blocking. He is fast too. They had him in for a visit too. One game he had like 100 some yards and 3 touchdowns against. I don't remember what team. Maybe Syracuse. But if you're looking at like a breakout stud, man, Arroyo's tough. Man, he's tough. What does the chat room say?
I see somebody asking Scatterbo win yet.
They like Jordan Birch here. He does fit the size profile of
Cheesy's saying look up Savion Jones. That's that LSU defense.
Oh yeah, the LSU DN. I think
he's all right. I'd rather have Birch over Jones, but the other kid in LSU is better, Swinson. Jones has got the size though. He's big. He's like 280 pounds.
I don't know how far back this is, but a lot of people are saying Princely. They're saying Princely or Birch.
That's kind of a lot of good value there at 82 for Princely.
Mm-hmm.
But man, he's light. I mean, he's going to take a year. He's not. I don't know how much he's going to produce.
Like you said in the beginning of the draft, baby, you're gonna be a third. You're gonna be a third rusher, baby. So I mean, is it really a problem?
I don't know. You kick Deo inside and stick him out there, yeah, maybe. He might be better than Austin Booker. I mean, Austin Booker. You gotta love the hustle of Austin Booker.
They're gonna say Savion Jones. I thought he got drafted.
No, he's down here. Yeah, he might be there at the next pick, 148. Yeah, he's like 280 pounds.
He's a big boy.
He fits the system.
If we're going system picks, then he probably would be the guy. Yep. You probably could get him at the next pick.
Jordan Birch, according to is he still on there? Jordan Birch.
Yep.
So according to
big boy
Dane
too, he's almost 280. Yep.
According to Dane Brugler,
I like Birch quite a bit.
6'4", 279.
Yep.
I'm trying to look up some good stuff. His strengths: he's dense, good-looking athlete who carries weight well with an NFL-ready body. Loose jointed, 279, terrific short area movement. Put athleticism on display with a 36-yard run to convert direct snap punt. That's on 2024 Maryland's tape. Preferred pass rush tactic is power and disrupt balance to put blockers in reverse. I wonder if that's a lot kind of what we got with Sweat. He does a lot of bull rush type stuff too, right? He's not really the finesse. He's a physical tackler, throw down tackler, so he's going to tackle. Production improved every season. His weakness is average burst off the ball. That's a big concern for me. We're already dealing with that with Dex, 3 years in. Battled injuries his final season. That's a question mark. But I mean, what pick are we at? We're in the third round right now, right?
Yep, number 82.
So none of these guys are going to be perfect here.
Yep. To me, I like either defensive end or a tight end here. Maybe a defensive tackle who's sitting there. Omar Norman Lott is intriguing. You know, he doesn't give you a lot of run defense though. You know, but his pass rush win rate is up there like 19%. Shamar Turner is interesting. You know, he's a penetrating 3-tech. He plays both run and pass fairly well. You know, he's a Texas A&M. That Texas A&M defense was nice, man.
Well, they got top talent in their backyard, and they paid them a ton of money. Even some of these guys who have moved on to me.
Riley Mills on Notre Dame. If he didn't get injured, he might be a little bit higher, ranked a little bit higher. You know, he's kind of out of sight, out of mind. He's got the pass rush ability. You know, he had the injury. He still had 7.5 sacks, 114 pressures across 1,000 pass rush snaps. You know, do you know this player, Riley Mills on Notre Dame?
I don't. The chat is kind of sold on Birch, and even Dane Brugler, he had Birch ranked at 10, and he's got Princely ranked at 14 for his edge rushers.
I'm with you. I love Birch.
So he's a top 10. According to Dane Brugler, he's a top 10 edge rusher in this draft. He's got the size already. Yep. Even someone in the chat said, Cornelius says, has Dennis Allen ever had a finesse edge?
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't. Yep.
It's not really what he so it sounds like he
Mr.
fits.
Safety Blitz.
It sounds like he fits the system and feels a need. KB, unless you have an objection, I think we're going to go Birch here.
All right, Birch it is. Now we're looking at 148. Scatabo just went.
But we grabbed our running back, didn't we?
Yeah. People were asking in the chat room. So we do have a safety. We already picked our safety. Savion Jones is there. He's kind of similar. What do you call it? Player as what's his name?
And these are looking at tight ends.
We didn't grab a tight end yet, right?
Nope.
Yeah, Mitchell Evans is a nice looking player from Notre Dame. We still got Lachey and Conyers.
He reminds me of Cole Quebec.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same player. To me, I think we wait and grab Conyers out of Texas Tech. That dude's, you know, he's kind of similar to Tyler Warren Arroyo type player.
I agree.
Wide receiver, there ain't much left, huh? What's his name? Loves Isaac Tesla.
Isaiah Bond is still here?
Yeah, because of his off the field troubles.
Isaiah Bond is.
He was arrested.
Might have to pay his bond if we
yeah, exactly. Yep.
Wasn't it speed or some stupid shit?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I thought it was something else that Mike Green was dealing with, but
man, look,
I'm not positive on that. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. Some kind of trouble.
Man, if we hadn't grabbed a running back earlier, I like RJ Harvey too.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you, why wouldn't why not?
And oh my God, Dylan Sampson! I'm telling you,
Dylan Sampson is right
wherever
here.
Wherever he goes, he's going to be a star. That dude, you talk about a nose for the end zone. Dylan Sampson has that,
and he's fast as shit. Y'all, we were just talking about this with Travion Henderson. I'm not. I said it before. I'm not opposed to taking 2 running backs in the draft.
Neither am I.
You guys don't think we should work on the O line some? I mean,
you turned to Will Campbell.
We got Will Campbell.
That's one dude.
Fine. That's good enough.
You can grab other people in the goddamn after the draft. I ain't worried about O line no more now.
So we grabbing Dylan Sampson then? Is that the plan? Or
I just want to see who's at linebacker. Do you know this guy, Dumas Johnson? Kentucky.
Yeah, he came from Georgia. Went to Kentucky last year. Tackling machine. He's kind of like Danny Trevathan was. You know, he's going to tackle everything he sees, but he's not great in coverage, in my opinion. He's got leadership qualities too. But we can grab him later if that's a guy that you're interested in. I'm trying to see what the chat's saying.
233.
We got no trade offers.
Yeah, we don't have anything in the chat either.
And I was gonna say I see somebody saying
Chat, are y'all gonna be upset if we pull the trigger on Dylan Sampson here and come out of this draft with 2 running backs and have to trade away Swift?
I hate to. It would be a reach here to pick up a tight end. We'd have to trade back up to get one of these top 3.
One of the top 3 tight ends.
Yep, on this list here right now, Evans, Lachey, and Conyers. There's one of these top 3 remaining.
Pochettino's saying no, nope. I don't know if that's they wouldn't be mad or if that's don't draft them. Drake T says Ricky White wide receiver. If you want to pull, is he on there? You want to pull up his thing?
Still available.
What's his
UNLV.
little excerpt say? What size is he and stuff?
Yep, 1,400 yards last year and 8 touchdowns. They had a wide open offense in UNLV. It's the kind of he's a playmaker. He's fast as hell.
He's pretty far down that list, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
I was going to say, Kobe Hudson is on the list still, too. Kobe Hudson's pretty much the same type of player.
Nick Nash isn't that's a name I've been hearing a lot.
Nick Nash is still there. Good. He's a former quarterback. He's a little older player. Man, I love this kid, Andrew Armstrong. This is a big boy. He always gets open and converts a 3rd down. He's on Arkansas, 78 catches, 1,100 yards.
You say 6'5"?
Ball player, a big boy. He's 6'3", 202. People love Elijah Badger, too.
I was going to say Elijah Badger still there.
Yep.
Shit, y'all talking Will Shepard still there, LeJontay Wester.
Yeah, LeJontay is a playmaker too, man. That dude's fast.
So, what I'm seeing is a lot of these dudes we could still grab later.
Yep.
I know it's kind of a luxury pick, but I think Dylan Sampson in this offense, Ben Johnson could do a lot of things with that kid. It might be a complaint if they go this route. Bears fans are going to be up in arms regardless of what you do, some of them. But I think I'm going to go with Dylan Sampson.
This is why I trade up for Ashton Genty, because he's both, you get both of them in one guy. But anyways, I'm not opposed to taking 2 running backs. I think we could.
I'm not.
Are you guys want more Ian Wheeler this year?
No, I'm good. I mean, he's a good dude. He was a good story on Hard Knocks.
Love his story. Yep. RJ Harvey's good. Devin Neal's good ball player. Brashard Smith, also a good player. Jordan James, also good. Yeah, Jaden Blue is sitting back there. Taj Brooks is tough. LaQuint Allen is intriguing. This is the best pass receiver, best pass blocker in the draft. But, I mean, you tackle him, he's down. He goes down fairly easy.
Cornelius Squalls is saying Conyers. Is Conyers still
a lot of people yelling tight end right now?
That's what I was saying. We could reach for him early. I don't care. It's fine with me. We'd have to trade back up to grab him. This ranking of 219 might be low for him anyways. And the Bears did bring him in for a visit. I'm all right with drafting him. But it's high for him.
You don't think he'd be there at what's our next pick? 148?
233. I don't think he'll be there.
Oh.
Go 233.
Possibly.
I was gonna say that would mean all these other tight ends would have to come off the board too. So I mean,
yeah, I don't think he'll be there, but we'd have to trade up like 10 spots, 15 spots to get him. I'm all right with taking him there.
I mean, if you are taking him.
There ain't much left, man. After that, this guy's intriguing here, Maliki Madavao out of UCLA, but he's an undrafted.
I'm gonna take.
This is my thing. All right, just before we make this pick, and I see the chat saying 3rd tight end, whatever. Stack whoever this kid is.
Tight end. I think he'll be the 2nd tight end if you draft him.
Yeah,
he's a good receiver, man.
Stack him accordingly.
Yep.
What type of player is he compared to Dylan Sampson? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say I've seen this kid from Texas Tech play. I don't know how he plays. I don't know how good he is.
To me,
I've seen Dylan Sampson play.
He's the last playmaking running or tight end in this draft. Well, let's take the running back and try to trade back up for him.
Hell, I wouldn't mind if you could trade back up. I wouldn't mind packaging that fucking 240 pick in the 233 pick to move up.
Yep. Well, we could pick next year's 7th
Or
round.
next year, do whatever you want to do. You know.
All right, we'll take Samson, and I'll pause.
Like I said,
it
I'm just saying. I'm speaking from my point of view. If y'all feel like it was tight end, but
I know the chat room's probably dinging us for taking.
Oh, I thought
taking 2 running backs. Okay, so there's our pick. So I just want to see who's around like 200 and. So round 6, the first pick is what? Oh, that's a long draft, bro.
Well, you got compensatory picks that come in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, etc.
Yep. So we'd have to pick. We'd have to ideally you trade with Dallas or higher. 211 or 217.
Ravens got 2 picks there. Maybe we can try and grab
trade
one of those.
Yeah, let's try that. All right, so proposed trade. Baltimore. Where's Baltimore? There they are. Confirm. So let's give them 233, and we'll take their 210 and give them next year's 7th. See if they go for that. Right. And they accepted it. All right, so we're sitting at 210.
Nice.
So resume it, and we can get our tight end.
Hopefully
he's there.
Right, get there. He goes to pick before.
Yeah, I know. Watch. I think we moved up close enough to. Oh, he's gone already.
Damn. We got Luke Lachey.
Where did he go? Fochese was right though. All right, there he is. He went 186 to the Jets.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's fine. You still got Luke Lachey there.
Yeah, I'm okay with Luke Lachey.
I'm good with taking an Iowa tight end, taking a shot on him.
Right. Taking me solid. Now, for me, I think we got to grab a 3 tech. Oh, Patrick Jenkins is sitting there. That dude's a baller. What do you guys think? You like Patrick Jenkins, Tulane? He's a little 3 tech.
I'll tell you, I don't know anything about him, but we did grab part of our coaching staff came from Tulane. I think the O-line coach, so he would know very well whether.
He's like the last good 3 technique here.
You got Howard Cross more of a 1 tech, or
I think so. I don't remember though. I thought Riley Mills was the. Oh no, he's a 3 tech.
I know Stackhouse is a big dude.
Yeah, Stackhouse is a 1, and that would be a good guy if you miss out on like Kenneth Grant or some of those other guys.
I mean, Howard Cross, man, that's a Notre Dame guy. He's going to sell jerseys. He's going to put butts in seats if you bring him in.
KB, any scouting report on Howard Cross?
You wouldn't like my report because
let's just see who's all there. Curtis Rourke. I see Kyron Lacey is intriguing here. This is an LSU wide receiver.
Yeah,
he's got some size, but he had some legal issues. But they're supposedly it's supposed to be cleared up here.
He got the situation like Keyshawn Boutte.
Yeah,
just dropped because of bad character concerns.
Yep.
Because I know Kyron Lacey is a dog.
Yeah, I like you're taking out hoping his legal. Like Isaiah Bond legal issue is gone.
I think I'm going with Howard Cross here. That's just looking at the
and that's more of a need. I love me some Patrick Jenkins though. That dude's good too. What does Dane Brugler say about Jenkins and Cross?
I'd have to find OT. Let me find offensive tackle
real quick because we got about 10 minutes left.
10 minutes.
That seems like a lot, doesn't it?
Who am I looking for? Patrick Cross or Patrick Jenkins?
What happened? Lacey killed himself last night? Holy shit. I got to look that up. Hold on. Thanks, Bozman.
Excuse me?
He committed suicide? I don't know. Let me check
I don't even see Patrick Jenkins on this list.
Wow!
Did he?
Kyron Lacey dead at 24, 33 minutes ago.
Holy shit. Damn.
That's crazy.
Well, all right, we don't need to draft him, guys.
Tigers.
Wow.
Shit. Big dude had a ton of promise, too, man. Fudge.
Yeah, you don't get into LSU just off of
Exactly. I love me some LSU receivers, though, man. A lot of success in the NFL.
I didn't see that Patrick Jenkins on offensive tackle. Maybe he has him listed as a guard.
All right, hold on. Let me I will punch up a little. My computer's acting a little slow here now, you know? There we go. All right. That is crazy.
I don't see him on here at all either.
God.
Yeah, I'm my flabber is full on gasted right now. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Kid takes his own life.
Lot of promise.
2 weeks before the draft.
Let me get in here and see where we're going here with the defensive tackles. So you're looking at oh, come on. I know he's been on here.
Do we have the draft paused while we're doing this?
The what?
Do we have the draft paused while we're doing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's our pick at 211 or 240, whatever it is. Yeah, 240.
Well, I didn't know if they had a clock of some sort, or you just have the same, whatever it takes.
Huh. Well, I don't see Cross or I swear I'd seen them before. Hold on a minute.
This is great radio.
He's not even in here.
Howard Cross, according to Dane Brugler, is the 34th defensive tackle. He's ranked a 7th round pick.
Okay.
6-year senior. He's got him rated under Nazir Stackhouse, under you said Jenkins. Is he defensive tackle as well?
Mm-hmm. Patrick Jenkins.
I don't see Jenkins.
All right, Howard Cross it is, huh?
That's it. I mean, that's who I'm going with.
All right, finish it up. I got some stuff for you guys after we show our picks.
So what do we got left that we have not drafted? I'm trying to think.
Oh.
Can you look
we ended. That was our last pick.
Oh, did we trade away that? Oh, well.
There we go. We got Will Campbell and Kenneth Grant, so 2 trench players immediately, which is nice. We took Quinn Sean, we went back, got a safety for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Birch on the edge probably will rotate in, so he should get some playing time. Dylan Sampson, I think, should get some looks, playing time. Quinn Sean's going to get a lot of touches.
Yeah.
Dylan Sampson, then, if anybody like Roshan or Swift gets injured, I mean, still Sampson immediately steps in. Lashy is going to get you probably rotate in as a 3rd tight end. And then Howard Cross will be part of that rotation.
Yeah. The only thing I worry about is we didn't end up with a linebacker at some point. Maybe that's an undrafted position that we grab.
Yeah, there's some undrafted guys. Nick Martin, that kid from Sean Dolak from Buffalo that Greg Gabriel loves.
I wish that was something that the mock draft simulators would allow you to do, is at the end look and see who's left. You know what I mean? So you could see a list of players that could possibly be undrafted free agent type players. But we'd probably be looking at linebacker. What happened to KB?
Oh,
that's a good ass question. Okay, I was gonna say,
what happened to the thing here? What? I don't know. I can't get us 3 vertical.
I'm good with this. I like this.
All right. I'm holding y'all up, man.
I did have before we get out of here. This is like the worst case scenario for if all those guys are gone. What would you guys do? I'll obviously try to trade back.
So Mimbu's gone, Genty's gone, Abdul's
Travis
gone. Hunter, Will Campbell.
Tyler
Shit.
Warren's gone. Mason Graham is gone. And this is trade back for sure. Yep, try and find someone to trade. Someone would probably be trying to trade up for Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur, yeah.
Which would be like the Giants or Saints again. You know,
It
which
could
is
be
why
as low down as the Steelers, man.
I was gonna say the Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers could trade up. Yep. So this is what the fear, and this is why if you want a blue chip player in this draft, if the Bears want one, I think they have to trade up. You know, if Abdul Carter were to fall to,
I would look into
4 with the Patriots. But the Patriots. So here's the thing: the Patriots are going to try and trade with somebody who's going to looking to come up for Shedeur. You know,
KB, is somebody cutting a tree behind you? Or?
That's me.
Well,
I was like, what the hell's going on?
my wife is vacuuming right above me.
Okay.
Oh,
There's nothing I can do about it.
she had a chainsaw out, bro.
There she stopped.
I think if you had to stay there at 10 and pick someone,
Kelvin Banks.
No, I don't like Kelvin Banks. Honestly, I think
Kelvin Banks might be the best pure tackle in the draft.
I don't know, man. I saw him on his ass a lot.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, he played a lot of left tackle snaps. So
well, you'd have to figure out what your scouts think of the edge rusher. I think. I mean, you got Michael Williams.
Looking at Michael Williams and Shamar Stewart. Yep.
I don't like Shamar Stewart myself, but it depends on what your scouts think.
Watch a little more tape of him.
From Georgia, huh?
Watch a little more tape of Stewart and see how much pressure he gets. Yeah, he didn't get home, but man, he really gets pressure. So that's why this is why there's a lot of buzz around the kid.
But when you grab that kid in the top 10,
the bust factor is there.
Because like the Ravens drafted Oweh like that out of Penn State. He didn't have all the stats, but he was getting close. But they drafted him like 24th or 25th, as opposed to grabbing a guy in the top 10 who you're expecting to take that next step. And that's been probably our biggest criticism of Ryan Poles is drafting kids based off of traits that he thinks they can excel with, and it just hasn't worked out.
I feel like Montez Sweat gets a lot of pressures. So
yeah, he didn't get home. That's a guy that didn't get home a lot last year either, you know. But
I was gonna say he
what about early in the draft season? Because I was looking at second, we have 2 second-round picks, so I've been looking a lot at that. Darius Alexander out of Toledo.
I love him. Yep,
he was getting an awful lot of praise leading up into the draft, and I just haven't heard a lot since then. Have you guys heard
was
a
that
lot of this kid?
What was the one, the Senior Bowl? Alexander, he tore it up down there. So yeah, he does have some buzz. Went to Toledo, which is a smaller school, but he dominated there, and he plays kind of both. He'll play nose and 3-tech.
Yeah, and the Eagles drafted their corner out of Toledo last year in the first round, and he was arguably.
I don't think the Raiders take Genty at 6, but I would not be surprised if the Jaguars take him at 5. Genty's a Jacksonville kid. That's his hometown.
I think Pete Carroll would love to get his hands on an Ashton Genty. I think that is a very.
They have a ton of need, though. They have a ton of needs. Wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line.
Oh yeah, Ted McMillan's not even on this.
Nope.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. They
shouldn't have said he only watches tape.
Ted
that sounds like the perfect New York Jet. If he. We don't watch tape either. Bring him in. Yeah. What's his Madden rating?
For me, I trade back here, and I'm looking at guys like Derek Harmon, Kenneth Grant in a trade back. Josh Simmons.
Depending on how far back you go, Malachi
Colston Loveland.
I love out of Georgia.
You guys like Colston Loveland?
I like. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this in the chat, but I like Loveland over Warren. I think.
I was gonna say
so
I like.
They're kind of two different flavors, though.
Yeah.
So to me, Loveland is more Travis Kelce, and Warren is more Jeremy Shockey.
Well, the biggest question mark about Tyler Warren, though, is he's a 5th-year guy who we didn't hear of until this last year.
This is
This
the
last
class,
year
bro.
he put up a bunch of stats. They also
You're right.
schemed him open a lot. They
Yep.
they said we're going to get the ball in his hands a lot. Why did it take this long for him? Like I remember Brock Bowers as a freshman saying, "When is this kid coming out?"
Yep.
You know, I mean, maybe I'm splitting hairs here, but I think Loveland. I've even heard Danny Shimon talking about it. He's running wide open.
Yep.
He just doesn't have a quarterback
Yep.
to get him the ball.
Loveland on the Chiefs would be unreal. I mean, they got Noah Gray, who's a pretty good player too, but Loveland would just keep on rolling like if they had Travis Kelce. To me,
Chiefs have got to get O-line. Look at the 2 Super Bowls where they got clobbered. It was always smack Patrick Mahomes in the mouth and see what he's going to do. You know,
exactly.
and the Eagles just clobbered them, just killed them.
The Bear in this case, I would try to trade back. Maybe somebody's trying to trade up here.
I would definitely trade back right now.
Yeah, I don't think the Saints are going to take a tight end there, to be honest. But anyways, if all those guys were gone, that's what I wanted to get your guys' opinion on what they would do, you know?
The Saints are the hardest team in the top 10 for me to pinpoint because they got needs all over as well, you know? And
I got another thing here that you guys might be interested in. So ChatGPT says
this shit.
Caleb Williams' next contract, 10 years, the first $1 billion player, $110 million per year. AC.
The way things are going, man, it's
$600 million guaranteed.
What are they at right now? $65 million for Dak Prescott. So it's possible.
Yeah.
This is 3 years down the road, of course.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to work, you know.
But if Caleb's getting this, what's Jaden Daniels getting? If he continues the same trajectory?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
seeing a lot of love for Pierce in the chat.
Here's the top 30 visits, KB. This is the one I was trying to flash earlier, and I just forgot. These are all the guys that the Bears have visited with at Hallis Hall.
So you're telling me they brought in Isaiah Bond, huh?
Yeah, but it was before he got arrested.
Yeah, I figured.
So
Trey Harris is an interesting name there.
This is one of my favorite wide receivers in this draft.
He's a fucking athlete.
Oh my god! So here's the thing with Trey Harris, and this is a guy that he ran a 4.5 something at the combine, and that doesn't bother me. But he's been clocked at 23 miles per hour. So this is
he doesn't play at that speed. That's crazy.
He takes a good and the combine results, his 10-yard split wasn't, great, but he's ramping up. So this is a guy that took slants to the house. Everyone want to say, well, let's run some more slants. This is the guy, man, 6'2", 215. So he had some injuries. I think he played in 6 and part of a 7th game. Still got to 1,000 yards, KB. Not only that, but his yards per reception was like 20 something. Yards per reception, and his explosive play rate was like 1.71 yards per route run, which is just insane. So every route he ran, he averaged 1.7 yards for his total for the game. That's just insane.
Yeah.
Yards per route run rate. To me, this all translate to the NFL as a former quarterback. He was the quarterback for Malik Neighbors in high school.
Wow.
Understands the game. He had a couple injury issues last year, but like I said, played 6 games and got to 1,000 yards. So to me, this is a guy. I don't want to say like Jerry Rice, but Jerry Rice wasn't. If Jerry Rice ran a 40 at the combine, it would have been like 4.6 or something like that. But how many people once Jerry Rice got past him caught him from behind?
Yeah.
And Jerry Rice is a different player who's a little thicker and stuff like that, but Harris is very intriguing to me. If he's there in the 3rd round at 72, holy shit, I grab him. This is a guy that's explosive. Or if they trade back and pick up another top 70, top 50 pick, whatever, this is a guy I definitely would consider. They brought him in. for a visit. And then you see like some of these other guys here. Jalen Conyers was the tight end from Texas Tech that we wanted to try and trade up for. I don't know whether they're targeting him or not, but it was we don't know all of their top 30 visits. They didn't bring them all. So
right. What about Omar Norman Lott? Is he a 3-tech or a 1-tech defensive tackle?
He's not a run stopper.
Okay.
He's a pass rush win rate guy. A high pass rush win rate. Doesn't play run that well, but he's going to get pressure from the 3-tech.
I'm just trying to remember him from when Kentucky played him, and I just the name doesn't really stick out to me. I know James Pierce does, but he doesn't play the run very well either.
No. Neither does Kyle Kennard from South Carolina. Those guys don't really play the run that much. They're pass rushers. Omar Norman Lott's got some potential though. With some coaching. He was part of that rotation at Tennessee, the defensive line rotation.
And some of these, if it's a local visit, they don't have to report them, correct? So, they could have brought in Howard Cross from Notre Dame, and I think I'm trying to
local kids. Notre Dame counts as a local visit.
Yeah. So, it's possible that
they did draft some players from their top 30 visit last year. Let me see if I have that. Who did they draft last year? Is this last year? So Kieran Amagaji was a visit. Austin Booker was a visit. Rome was a visit. The previous year, they had brought in, Darnell Wright, of course. They brought in Roshan. And then in that first year, these are all of his drafts. I think they drafted Valus. Valus was a visit.
You see AC shaking his head.
Valus Jones was our third pick in that first draft.
I don't understand he did some things at Tennessee, but I don't understand what he did that blew them away.
And he was an older player too.
Yeah.
But I got to get going here pretty soon. I got Palm Sunday Mass coming up.
Yeah, my wife already texted me before we even started.
Yeah, I know, right?
We made it through the whole thing.
We made it through a draft, 7 rounds.
7 rounds. Even had some trades in there. Looking up, if you are a subscriber to The Athletic, I would say look at the Beast. Try to find some players that you might be interested in, and that's the biggest thing for me with mock drafts is it helps me learn prospects. So when draft night comes, you know what I mean?
Yep. So
maybe
let me
pros.
I'm going to flash this up there for people who want to see what we drafted real quick.
Yeah.
That way they can pause the screen and stuff. But all right, decent show, guys. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a good show.
We got stuff coming up for the bar room. Sunday of the draft, we'll probably do a show, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll do a show that day. Talk about the first and second rounds. Yeah, because that's it. We'll be able to talk about all of it, right? Because Saturday is the last part of the draft, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yep, we'll be able to talk all of it on Sunday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then, so what is that? The 27th, right?
Yeah.
We'll be back the 27th. Draft coverage all day long on those 3 days, though, too, from Barroom. It'll be like Aldo's the third day. We usually all check in, throughout the day for that last day, check in throughout the day. Aldo will probably have a sign-up sheet for us. And then Brother Souls on Tuesday coming up for me.
Well, I've got, if anyone's interested, you said on Tuesday you got your show?
Yep, Brother Souls on Tuesday. Okay. Wednesday, 12-ounce curl route.
Yep. If you
draft show this Wednesday?
Yeah, if you go to Daily Football Roundup YouTube page, right here on YouTube, we do the same thing. The 12-ounce curl route podcast will be doing our first round mock draft this Wednesday, where each of us take turns drafting. Last year, I took Caleb first, and I took Jared Verse ninth. Imagine what would have happened if that was the way our draft turned out. So we cover.
It's funny that you mentioned Jared Verse. That's my comp for Braden Swinson. on the LSU. I forgot to mention that when we were talking about
Nice.
Swinson. So he's got that power and he's got the pass rush. And Jared Verse had a really successful season last year.
Yeah. So the 12 Ounce Core Route podcast, we cover the entire NFL, but if I'm a Bears fan, one of my co-hosts is a Packers fan who I was in the Army with, and
Right.
my other co-host is a Patriots fan who actually he was pre-bandwagon Patriots fan. So it's a fun show, and we cover the whole league as much as we can.
And what time will that be Wednesday?
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, so 8 p.m. my time. I'm going to set up my reminder. All right, brother, I got to get going.
Yeah, me too,
my
man.
wife is looking for me. Your wife's looking for you.
Yeah. So like, comment, subscribe to the Bar Room, and it'll tell you when we go live. But until next time, we'll just leave them with a bear down.
Bear down.